Back to it, Scottish Cup fourth round tie tomorrow at Celtic Park. It's starting 11 prediction time. On the last starting 11 prediction before the winter break, only 50% of you were subscribed. If you want to support the channel, the best thing to do is click subscribe below. The bigger we get, the more subscribers we get, the better the content can become. Let's go. Yes, folks, here we go. It's starting 11 prediction time for tomorrow's cup tie against Buckie Thistle at Celtic Park. This is obviously going to be a special tie for Buckie Thistle. They're one of only three fifth tier sides left in the competition in the fourth round. They've obviously got an affinity with Celtic. They wear green and white hoops. For anybody that didn't know that, we played them in a friendly in their centenary year in 1989. Up there as well. I think Stephen Welsh's cousin has been covered in the media this week. Plays for Buckie as well. So lots of crossovers, lots of associations, I suppose. But for the team tomorrow, we just need to approach it professionally, get the job done, and get into the next round. This is the 21st of January. We've got one new signing in the door, Nicholas Kühn from Rapid Vienna, a wide player, a right winger. Left-footed right winger, it looks like. There's 10 days to go. There was a lot of talk before the window about getting four. Brendan Rodgers has mentioned numerous occasions about getting four quality signings, and we've got 10 days left to get another three. There's a lot of work for the club to do. I'm prepared to be underwhelmed. I'm getting myself ready, bracing for the excuses about how difficult the January window was and how we weren't able to do what we wanted to do. 10 days left. I'd like us to get another three more. I think the talk, though, is sort of bringing it down to three. Maybe one more permanently and then maybe a loan deal. But I think the club have got a lot of work to do, even going out as well. I know Kwon's gone out. Ideguchi's gone out permanently. Montgomery's come back from Fleetwood and gone straight back out to Motherwell. It started today, actually got an assist after a couple of minutes. But with Ideguchi and Montgomery, those guys weren't involved in the first team in the first half of the season, so it doesn't really cut down the numbers Brendan Rodgers has been dealing with on the training pitch every day. So I think we need to get some more fringe players out, and we need to get, as I say, I would like three more in the key positions as we go through this team today, which is a toss of a coin because it's a cup tie, a fourth round Scottish Cup tie against lower level opposition. It's really difficult to judge who the manager will play tomorrow, but as we go through the team, we'll talk about the positions in the pitch that we need strengthened in, whether that be more depth to push the guys that are currently in that position, or just more quality overall to really improve the team. That's what we have to do. It's what we didn't do well enough in the summer, and we've got ourselves to this position, finished strongly with the 4 straight wins, but it doesn't hide anything. It doesn't get us away from the fact that we really need to strengthen this squad, and we can't come out of the window with more regrets, with more question marks about the recruitment. We've got to get it right, and as I say, time's ticking. We've got 10 days to go and do that. So let's get to the team then, and we'll start in goals like we always do, and I think we might see a change tomorrow. I've put Scott Bain in. Joe Hart did play in the second round of the League Cup at Rugby Park when we went out 1-0 there. Maybe Bain can play tomorrow. It's maybe a good game to give him to keep him engaged. He obviously played against Livingston when Joe Hart was sent off early in the season, but that's been his only first team minutes. I don't see that it been any chance is serious. I think he's one the club are looking to move on this month. I think a move to Sturm Graz was rumoured and then fell through, so I think he's one who's working to find a way out of the club. I wouldn't be surprised to see Hart start, but I've just went with Bain. Back four: Ralston, Nawrocki, Scales and Taylor. Centre half, Brendan Rodgers confirmed Cameron Carter-Vickers won't take part tomorrow. He is back to fitness. He's training with the group. No point in risking him tomorrow. The key thing for Carter-Vickers in the second half of the season is getting to full fitness, getting to full sharpness and avoiding injury. He's a huge player for us. We've obviously navigated some really tough games in the first half of the season without him, but there's no doubt we're a better team when he plays, and more importantly when he's at full fitness and full sharpness. So that's the big priority for Carter-Vickers in the second half of the season. New contract, rumoured obviously. A massive player for us, but he needs to be more available, and hopefully these niggles and these injuries he's had in the first half of the season aren't a sign of things to come off the back of that operation that he had towards the end of last season as well. The manager did say he's not going to make wholesale changes because he wants the team to find a rhythm again before we get back to league action next week. So I don't expect it to be a second string. It's really difficult to judge, as I say, the kind of team he's going to put out. But in midfield, I've went basically full strength with McGregor, Bernardo and O'Reilly. No doubt that probably won't be the case, but thinking about who you would take out and who you'd play, David Turnbull's future seems uncertain. Maybe not one for now, but certainly in the summer. Odin Thiago home, you could maybe make a case for him as a more long-term project who you want to try and get into the first team and build into being a first team Celtic player. But I think he's probably one we're looking at trying to get a loan deal for as well. Doesn't seem like he's robust enough and strong enough to play regularly for Celtic yet. You could definitely give minutes to all of these guys, but as I say, it's a toss of a coin. Who's going to start in midfield tomorrow. So I've just went with the first choice three, again based on the manager's comments about wanting to go quite strong and get back up to speed. I'm going to Bada on the right hand side, I'm going Johnston on the left, and I'm going Kyogo up front. I think it's important for us to get minutes into Abada's legs. Got minutes off the bench against Rangers and against St Mirren right before the break. A big player for us. Lots of speculation surrounding his future. Well, I say lots of speculation. There was one story from the Mail around about the time that the bid for Nicholas Kühn went through, suggesting that people are pushing Abada away from Celtic and trying to force him to look for a move. I don't know whether anything like that will transpire. I hope it doesn't. We've got a lot of numbers out wide, but we don't have a lot of quality. And I think Abada's important for us. He's a goal scorer. His numbers are really good. That can sometimes paint a picture of the complete finished article, though, and he's not that yet. And I think you've got that effect as well, having been out for so long in the first half of the season, that people often say your best games are when you're in the stands. I think because of the issues that we had through the first half of the season, a lot of people were crying out for Abada to come back, and there's no doubt he helps us, and I definitely want him to stay. But there's lots of areas of his game that he can still get much better in. But I think tomorrow is a great opportunity to give him minutes and build him back to full sharpness, so that if and when we do need him, when we get back to these league games, a lot of tough league games coming up. We've got Ross County next week, but then it's Aberdeen away, Hibs away, really tough fixtures for us. So Abada at full speed is a good option for us. I'm just going Johnson on the left. Could be Palma, but I think if Palma plays with the other players I've picked in this team, it's pretty much full strength. And the other problem is through the middle with Kyogo, because he is the only fit first team striker available at the club. If he had been chosen by Japan for the Asian Cup, we would have no one to play through the middle tomorrow. That tells you about the planning, tells you something about the recruitment. There's no way the club would have foreseen that Kyogo wouldn't get picked in the summer. This is something that in the summer transfer window should have been earmarked, should have been prioritised, that we were going to lose these players. Maeda's away, O is away, and all of a sudden we've got no first team available strikers if Kyogo had been selected as well. So the club have got away with that, if you like, because Kyogo hasn't been chosen. But you end up in a situation like this tomorrow, where ideally, would you like to play him in this fixture? Would you like to maybe give him a bit? I know we've just had a 2-week rest, not so much a rest, but would you like to just not risk him in a game like this? But we don't have that option really, because he's the only striker we've got. That is a priority for us in these last 10 days. We've got to get a striker in. We might need to get 2 strikers in, because the jury's out on O and his ability to contribute and his ability to replace Kyogo again. If you think about planning and getting the depth in the squad right, you've got to think about what if Kyogo gets injured, what's the drop off to his replacement, and I think O hasn't done enough to convince everybody that the drop off wouldn't be that much, and that he could go a run of 5 or 6 games and bang in the goals if he had to. I don't think we've got enough out of O to judge that. So striker's a big one for us. The club have got so much work to do in this next 10 days. The state of the squad from the summer, the teething problems and the issues with the performance through the first half of the season aren't taken away because we finished strongly before the break and we got the win over Rangers. They're still there. We still have to fix this squad. We've still got to get much better. We're not off the hook. And I think 10 days left, we'll give them the 10 days and we'll judge the window when it closes. But we've got lots and lots of work to do. I don't think there's any getting away for that. There you go. That's the team I think Brendan Rodgers will pick tomorrow. I'll be astounded if I get 11 out of 11. But you can let me know who you think will play in the comments below. Is there any fringe players or maybe youth team players you would like to see get some minutes tomorrow? Let me know in the comments. And as always, we'll see you tomorrow with full-time reaction. Thank you.